Hello everyone, we are an English-speaking organization, 中央大学鹰嘴社. My name is Tim, I'm the president.
My name is Jenny, and I'm the vice president of English-speaking organization. We're very glad to see you all here tonight.
It is our great honor to invite our speaker, Bachar, today, and his friends for coming all the way from Hsinchu to NCU.
And Bashar is very famous of inspiring speech, and during the speech, we will learn how to discover our talents and potential.
Later, Bachar will deliver us a speech first, and we will have time to interact with Bachar. So think about some questions during the speech. All right? So very soon, let's welcome our speaker, Bachar, today.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to be back. You guys may not know, I mean, is anyone here who is kind of, have you guys had dinner by the way? Yeah? Okay, great. So whenever I come back to NCU, there is always that feeling that I am home. And when I come here, there is a mixed feeling kind of thing. Because when I was here in 2011, that was what, 7 years ago? Most of you guys, I believe, were in elementary school. No, in middle school, sorry. In middle school, not elementary school. And then 7 years later, I get to come back to speak here in NCU. And you know what that makes me feel like? Happy and old. Because I believe that most of you guys are like, what, 20, 21, right? If you're 21, raise your hands real quick. 20? 16? Of course not, right? But anyway, so my point is, most of you guys, when I was here in 2011, because that's where I did my Chinese when I came here in Taiwan, that's where I was, okay? So most of you guys were sitting in middle school. And then when I came here in 2011, they gave us those kind of small notebooks that we could learn Chinese. And then my friends, my Taoist friends would be making fun of us, saying that, so remember, we are here 21 years old and using using the stuff that you guys used to use when you guys were in middle school. So whenever I come back here, all these memories, they come back. Anyways, I'm going to share with you guys some of the experiences that I've had here in NCU. And then later, hopefully, we're going to have a Q&A session. And I have to say I'm sorry for being here a bit late because I was supposed to drive a car from Hsinchu. I was getting the car from my friend and he was sleeping when I called him. I planned to meet him at 6 and he was in his bed. So I had to wait for 15 minutes, which was really unanticipated. So sorry for that. So how are you guys doing today?
Great.
Okay, because I like interaction. So do you guys want me to slow down? Or do you want me to speak much faster, or do you want me to speak Chinese or Taiwanese? Because I can speak Taiwanese. Really? Alright, Japawe! You guys are very good. Can you open that for us? Alright. Coming back here to NCU, I have a lot of memories, and I think I have my preparation is ready, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Alright, NCU again, it's a place where all of my memories come back. And thinking back in 2011, I would say 2011 was the year where I learned most of my most important lessons. And then I am back here in NCU to share with you guys some of these lessons that I've learned. Normally that would take 3 hours to go through all these answers, but I tried to make it as short as possible. And also that's why I decided to talk to Tim and Jenny, to have a Q&A session. So you guys can ask questions, because this is going to be much better for you. Because I don't want you to just come here and sit and listen to me talk, but I want it to be something for you guys. So are you guys ready?
Ready.
Okay, great. So one of the first lessons that I learned being here in NCU is this. We fail to take responsibility for our own lives. So when I was here in 2011, I remember I had just left Haiti. I had never left my home country for a very long time. Well, almost never. And when I came here in August, I spent 3 months in complete sadness. I missed my home. I was crying. I couldn't eat. I didn't like the Taiwanese food. I couldn't speak Chinese. I lost weight. I was 57 kilograms. I was so desperate. But one day, sometime in November, I made a decision that I am going to change my life. This is something that most of us will want to. And then from that day, I went to that gym here in NCU, got a card, a gym card, and I started to work out. And the first day I went to the gym, as you guys may have imagined, 57 kilogram guy, very skinny. And I went in there and I was lifting 8 kilograms dumbbell. To me it was very heavy at that time. And then I was going back and forth. I had no clue what I was doing. And while I was inside, a friend of mine, well, it wasn't a friend of mine at that time, he saw me. And he was making fun of me. He saw me lifting those light weights. He went to make fun of me with his girlfriend. And then that night, his girlfriend came back and said, my girlfriend said he saw you at the gym, and you were like a butterfly, a weak butterfly. I was weak, and I was going from machine to machines, because I didn't know what to use. I used this, and I used that one, and I used that one. And then they were making fun of me. And as my friend were laughing at what she said, and I sat there quietly, they had no clue what was going through my mind. And before I left NCU in August 2012, I was strong enough to work out with that same guy in the gym. He was very big, but I was enough to help him, and I was big enough to work out with him. So from 8 kilograms, I took myself to 45 kilograms dumbbell. I was lifting 45 kilograms. What happens? So when people come to me and said, what happens? How did you do it? Oh yes, your gene, it's genetic. Yes, those are bull. This is not true. So how can you do it? So this is exactly why I am here today. So when I talked to Tim earlier, Tim said, there may not be enough people coming here. Maybe 20, 30. I'm like, that's okay. Because why? There's a lot of things that you guys could have been doing right now. You could have been playing video games. You could have been running outside. You could have been watching TV. But you decided to come here and learn something that's going to be helpful for your life. And I'm going to make sure you guys learn these things. So from that day, from that moment you're in NCU, I learned the value of taking responsibility for my life. So what do you want to know? I mean, I suppose that you guys want to take cool notes, okay? First, you take responsibility to take yourself from where you are to where you want to go. Anybody want to take notes? Who is taking notes? Please say with me. You take responsibility.
Taking the responsibility
To go from where you are to where you want to be. Exactly. I'm happy you said that. So what happens is, as I was working out, I like to use that story because whenever I come back with that story, it's what comes to my mind. And as I was working out, people would come to me, how do you do it? I'd like to do it too. And then we'll start doing it. We'll go to the gym together. The first day, the first week, the second week, sometimes the third week. And after the third week, everybody's gone. And I go to the gym by myself. Oh, he's not here today. Maybe he's busy. It's okay. Maybe tomorrow. Okay? Tomorrow, he's not here. 1 week later, he's not here. 2 weeks later, they stop coming. So when you meet them on campus and they tell you, oh, boy, ici, oh, boy, ici, oh, boy, ici, oh my gosh. They have a bunch of excuses for not coming. A bunch of this. Yes, this, the weather is. So second thing you need to know, we need to have what I call self-discipline. Self-discipline. So what is self-discipline? So basically self-discipline is when you tell yourself, I am going to do something. And you commit yourself to do it, no matter what happens. So most of these guys were friends of mine. Some of them were in the same Chinese classes, but some of them, we basically had the same workload. But I had the time to go. Why not they? They were trying to make excuses. So the first thing is, you take the responsibility to change yourself, to change your life, to change your present circumstance. And the second thing is, thank you so much. And I'm going to move on to the third point, which is something very, very crucial. As I was here back in the days, so when I went to, do you guys have a pointer right away? No? Okay, well, oh my gosh. Well, I think I'll use a PowerPoint a bit later then. I'll use it after that. Okay? It's okay. Alright, so when I went to NCU, when I went to NTHU, because I graduated here from NCU, from Chinese, then I went to Qingda. And I did my undergrad and my first master's in Qingda, and then I went to Jiaoda. And had that same sense of drive. I was driven. And that's what most of you guys need. So how much do you need something? So how many excuses are you making every single day for not doing something? So from that time, from 57 kilograms to 67 kilograms in terms of weight, in 2016, I said to myself, I'm going to read a book every 3 days. So from December 2016 up until now, I have read 80 books. I've told myself I'm going to face my fear of mountains. I have faced it. So that brings us to what? That brings us to the third thing. Fear. This is so important that I've decided to leave this for the interview because I have the questions right here. I'm going to answer them during the interview and have you guys have your take on that. So, but I'm going to give you guys a hint to fear. So what is fear? What is fear? Fear is when you say, I want to do something. And then when you have that feeling, it's not going to work. You have not even started yet, and you said it's not going to work. This is fear. So fear comes from two sources. First, it's internal. That still small voice within that keeps telling you all the time, you cannot do it, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. That is still small voice. This is the first voice that you need to face. That small voice that you have within. The second thing is the fear that friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, society, parents are going to bring onto you. You're not good enough. Look at you. You're 57 kilograms. What makes you think you can work out? What makes you think you can have muscles? I'm going to show you guys my picture later, you will see. I know you guys are going to laugh a lot because the picture is quite interesting, right? So what makes you think you can do that? I was in NTHU and I was having dinner, and then there's a guy. He came into the restaurant where I was having dinner. He came in and sat quite close to me. He was with his wife, and he looked at me and smiled at me. I'm like, well, smile back. He smiled again. I smiled back. So he came back and started to talk to me, and we struck a conversation. He was very good at English, and he just told me that I am a professor in Qingda, in Taiji, Jingjishi. Like, really? I did Jingjishi. So we had a very great conversation. And at the end of the conversation, he asked me, what do you want to do? You do economics. What do you want to do when after you graduate? And I said, I want to be a motivational speaker. And then he looked at me and said, what is a motivational speaker? And I tried to translate for him in Chinese. And then, okay, now I tried to explain. I tried to give him some examples of people that he may know. I'm like, do you know Tony Robbins? No, who's Tony Robbins? Nah. Do you know Les Brown? No, I don't know who's that. Like, okay, maybe he knows that guy. I said, do you know Nick Vujicic? No, I'm like, okay, I'm going to explain to you real quick. So Nick Vujicic is that guy who has no arms and no legs. How many of you guys know? Please raise your hands. All right. Okay, just a few of you guys know Nick, right? No arms and no legs. So when I said that, boom, he knew what I was talking about. Oh, I see. but you have your arms and your legs and you want to be a motivational speaker? He looked at me from head to toe. And I was like, should I be nice to him? Or should I punch him? No, just kidding. I didn't have that thought. Okay? And I looked at him like, here is me, talking to a complete stranger, someone I had never met before. And I just told them what I want to do with my life. And he's charging me based on what I looked. He took a deep breath and said, you know what? I'm not going to let that get me. And I just said bye and went home. How many of you, how many times you wanted to do something? How many times you wanted to do something like this and someone came up to you and said, you're not good enough? You want to give speeches. I've been in town for 7 years and I've been giving speeches for the past 2 years. How many times have I had people say, no one wants to listen to your speeches? How many times have I had these things? And how many times have you had them in your own life? So when I talked about open that gift, when I talked to Tim, he said, let's have a topic. I'm like, well, open that gift. And maybe most of you guys came here because you think, well, maybe he's going to bring us gifts, right? How many of you guys think I was going to bring some gift here? Come on, don't be shy. You. Okay. So when I said open that gift, what exactly do I mean by that? I think I've been speaking too much. What do you guys think? Why? I'm going to have some people speak real quick. What do you think? The girl, you. Why do you think I chose that topic? Don't say anything. You, yeah. Mm-hmm. Why do you think I chose open that gift? I don't have any gift. I didn't bring any gift. What gift are we going to open? Okay, anyone knows? Oh, okay, great.
Open your own gift, and the gift is something like your talent or something else. Nothing?
Did you read my script?
I think not.
I think that guy read my script. He's cheating. Very good. Let's give him a round of applause. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you. You almost gave my speech. Very good. So open that gift. So when I used open that gift, the title just came up to my mind, and I just wrote it down. So what is a gift? Who has a gift? The gift is you. Each and every one of you here, you guys are a gift. You are the gift. But not everyone knows that. So what happens is, so if everyone is a gift, so what happened with that gift? So why do some people open that gift and others don't? Why? You know those people who open their gifts. These are the people that you like. So your favorite baseball player, Steph Curry, LeBron James, sorry. Whoever you like, those are the people who worked on the talents and they become something exceptional. And everyone likes to look at these people. So what about the other people who don't do that? So does that mean they don't have a gift? I have given this 2 years so far. A lot of reflection, studies, observation, writings. I have come up with my own theory that says there are two kinds of people on this planet. The first one is those who have the gift and who open it. Those who don't. Those who have a gift, sorry, but do not open that gift. So basically, I'm going to talk to you guys about those who do, but don't open it. So why somebody decide not to open the gift? If you guys were paying attention, I just gave the reason earlier. So why do you think someone don't open their gift? Real quick. Fear, very good. Very good. Afraid to change yourself. My gosh, you guys are awesome. Joining the stress on Lehigh. Alright, anyone else? The boys, like the girls. I mean, we have 3 girls here. I mean, no, not Jenny. Jenny, not you. That's unfair. Come on. Anyone? You guys have to try. Fear. Okay. The obstacles. The obstacles that you face. Okay, you get that right? The obstacles. So what happens is, I was in Chinga and I had a friend of mine. She likes movies. She said, well, she wants to be a movie star. Maybe, I don't know, whatever kind of thing that she can do in movies. And then, but now she's, studying foreign language. She's doing this because her parents did it when she said, I want to go to art school. Said, art school? Go get a degree in art school. Well, she complied, and now she's doing what she's doing, but she doesn't like it. So when she gave a speech in our Toastmasters club in Chinga, and then she talked about that, and I never knew that before. And I had to talk to her, and I said, well, I never knew that you loved doing something. I never knew that you had a goal. And then she said, well, yeah, I do. And she explained to me, I'm like, okay, that's great. Do you know I can help you? Well, yeah, great. How can you help me? She said, well, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help motivate you to reach that goal. Okay, how? Like, I start asking questions. I'm like, so what do you do that proves that you want to be a movie star? Aristotle said, success is what we repeatedly do. So what you do every day. So I ask you, what do you do every single day that proves that you want to be a movie star? Okay, I watch movies. Oh, that's very good. One day she watched 5 movies straight. She went to the movie theater and sat there for 5 movies. So nearly 10 hours. I'm like, okay, that's great, awesome. That proves a passion. What else? Nothing. Like, do you know any famous movie star that you like? Not really. Have you read any book about movie? No. Not great. So we're gonna take it from there. Now, so what I want you to do, I want you to go to the library, go to the internet, find someone who's done movie, maybe find an actor, try to see how did they get from when they discovered the talent to when they did something great. Find what they did, what books did they read, what books did they write, and try to do that. And she looked at me and said, oh, that's scary. That's scary. She thinks it's too much work. Just like our friend just said earlier. Obstacles. So what happens is when you want to do these things, you have a gap. The gap is the obstacles that you're going to have to fill. You're going to have to fill. You're going to have to fill, and it's going to be something that you have to do every single day. It's not something you do because you feel like doing it. It's not something you do because, well, it's easy to do. It's something you do because you are driven. And most of us want to do a lot of great things. We have a lot of good things that we think we can do. But somehow, we let the obstacles, it may be as small as this, but in our mind, we make it as big as this, and then we give us reasons not to move forward. And how many times has that happened to you? And how many times it had happened to me in my own life? Just like I said earlier, for 2 years, because I almost died at Yelmi Mountain. I was driving a car, and then I almost fell off a cliff in front of my girlfriend, and I was shaking, and I felt terrified and humiliated. And I said to myself, I'm never going to drive in the mountains ever again. And for 2 years, I was afraid of mountains. So to me, everything that had mountains were obstacles. And all I was doing was getting away from them. Until 2017, I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to change that. I would wake up all by myself, drive out to the mountains. You would see me shaking like this, like shaking, literally shaking. That's why I don't go with anyone, so no one makes fun of me. I know myself. I'm shaking and I can see myself. But I knew what I wanted. So those obstacles that you have, the obstacles in themselves mean nothing. It's what you make of them. It's what you take them for, how to explain them. That is what matters. So I believe that each and every one of you here, you have talents. And the obstacles are meant to make your life Interesting. And the third point that I'd like to mention is, before I get into the interview part, it's time. Time. We waste a lot of time. Before I start, I'd like to ask you guys a question. What's that? 30, I'm going to choose anyone. How many seconds do we have in a day, by the way? Mayor Susha Shida. I said Mayor. Okay, let me tell you, let me ask you one quick question. If I gave you Bawan, Leo Chen, Sibai, Quantai Beat Make what would you do with that money? $86,400 every single day. Every morning I give you that much money.
Save in the bank.
You will save the money in the bank. Very good. Good answer. Please give him a round of applause. Thank you. Next answer, are you? What would you do with that money?
I will have some proportion for my own desire and some for purchase for
Okay, that would buy me a car.
some.
Oh my gosh, right, thank you. So we'll save some money you'll have some money to save and some money to buy stuff. But third answer. Alright, real quick, you, how you doing? I'm sorry if I'm scaring you, but I like to get answers, alright?
I will buy everything that I want.
Every single day. So every day I give you that much money. So every day you go to shopping. You go to Shinju, Taipei, Zara, like this. Please give her a round of applause. I think she's making fun of me. Really? You spend the whole amount of money every day, right? Oh my gosh. You know what happens when you ask a question and you are expecting some sort of answers and you have something very different. Thank you. So what's your name, by the way? Sorry? How? Okay. Shawan, sorry. Okay, that's what happens. Well, I have asked that question many times over, but I've never had such an answer. I've never had anyone say, I want to spend the whole money every single day. So she's very special, really. So most people would say the same thing that you guys said. I would save it, I would take some part of it, buy what I want, and I would save it. But most of us, when we wake up every single day, we have that amount of time. Each and every single day, we have 24 hours, 86,400 seconds. And we let it slip by as if it meant nothing. The amount of time we spend on social media, watching dancing cats. Because I used to be like that too. I'll spend 3 hours watching dancing cats on Facebook. You know, watching all of my friends going on vacation on Instagram. And I have realized, no. If that was money, I would not have used it the same way. So why am I using it like that? If I start the sentence, I say, time is money. Everyone knows that. But no one is acting like that. No one is acting like that. So they use time, they take time as if it meant nothing. But if time is really money, just ask yourself right now, if time really is money, would you use it the same way you are using it right now? If you know time is really money, if you believe that. As I'm talking to you right now, I have final presentations, I have my thesis to do, I have other speeches, I have a teacher Toastmasters, I write, I read, I have a bunch of stuff to do. I could have just stayed home. I could have said, you know, team, I'm not coming. I'm so tired. I've been up since 8 a.m., literally working up until now. No break, no chow, nothing. Up until now. I could have just decided to stay at home and sleep, watch TV. I could have done that. But I've decided that my time should be used more wisely. My time being used to empower young people should be better used. Again, what can you guys from the first one? Taking responsibility to take you from where you are to where you want to go. Second thing, you have self-discipline. Third thing, you tell yourself, yes, fear, you are here, but you're not my enemy. You just hold hand with fear and you take it with you. Because I'm not asking you to never be afraid. Of course you're going to be afraid. But just give him a hug and say, let's go. And he has no way but to accept that. And last thing is, manage your time well. I have a long quote. I don't even remember if I can remember that quote. It says, people travel the world to wonder at the height of the mountains, at the huge waves of the sea, at the long courses of rivers, at the vast compass of the ocean, at the circular motions of the stars. And they pass themselves by without even wondering. They pass themselves by without even wondering. Which brings us, this is a quote from St. Augustine, and I'm going to put that up on the screen. You guys can read that later. So what it says in 2 words, it's know thyself. How much time that you spend trying to know who you are. How much time that you think trying to ask yourself, what is my gift? What is that I can do? What is it that I love doing? We spend a tremendous amount of time trying to see the people that we love, the good basketball players, the great actors, but we spend very little time trying to go deep down within to say to yourself, what is it that I like? But during my past 2 years, I've had the chance to help people here in Taiwan, Japan, the US, Italy, all of these countries, and I have had the chance to talk with students like yourselves in top schools. They're doing something. 99% of them do not like it. The 1% that said they like it, sometimes they just think they like it, but in fact they don't. So why is that? Just take some time. Take some time for yourself today. So that's going to be your first homework when you go home today. Take some time. Ask yourself, what is it that I like doing? What is it that I can do? And how am I going to contribute to society? So when I came with public speaking, I was thinking, yes, I used to be good at speaking. That was something I would say that's natural. But 5 years ago, 3 years ago, Tim would never have called me to come and speak here. Why would he call me? It takes practice every single day. I live outside, I live by myself. So every single day, I was standing in front of the mirror and rehearsing speeches. I'm always speaking, so that's why I don't live in the dorms, because my roommates will call the police on me. I live by myself in a quiet place that I can talk to myself as much as I want. So just try to find that thing that you are very good at, that you like doing. I can stand here and speak until midnight. I wouldn't mind. I've done that before, actually. I've spoken from 10 to 1 a.m. in Qingdao. And after midnight, oh really? You didn't eat that? Like, really? I didn't even feel it. So this is like this. This is the gift that you have. The gift that you have to open, it's going to be like that. I'm not going to ask you guys to tell me what you like doing, because most of you guys will say one thing. I like to travel. I like to travel. So I don't like that. I don't ask the question anymore. Okay, you like to travel, that's okay, but that's something that you like. That's very good. But what can you contribute to society with loving traveling? So traveling, how does that help me? How does that help her? How does that help him? I don't know. So try to frame it into a way you like it, but also you can help people. So remember, I'm here. So in English, there's something they call gold digger. And then it has a very weird translation in Chinese. It says, Bai Jinu. But it's very weird, because I know why they use nu, because it can be nan, can be nu. It doesn't have to be nu. I think it's very sexist to use Bai Jinu. It can be Bai Jin nan as well. So we have male gold diggers as well. So, but anyway, so my point is, I am a gold digger. Or Bai Jin nan. No. I am a gold digger. I am a gold digger because each of you guys, you have a gold mine right here. So my purpose in life is to come here and to make sure you guys dig. You dig, and you get that gold out and make life better for yourself, better for your friends, and better for society. Thank you so much.
Bashir again for the inspiring speech. And it's very exciting because during the speech we talk about responsibility, we talk about self-discipline, and also Bashir gave us a new meaning of gold digger. I think that's really interesting. So for the next section, we will have an interview time with Bashir, and also you can think about some questions that you can ask Bashir in person.
Okay, hold on. So hold on a second. So are you the one controlling the computer, right? You have controlled everything? Yeah? Okay, wait, no. Okay, no. I'll tell you. All right. Okay, well, thank you. How super. Sorry, I think he was raising his hands earlier.
I
Sorry.
already raised my hand.
Okay.
Can I ask the first question to Mr. Bashir?
You can call me Pastor Guanyin. I'll give you guys my real names later, Bashir.
Oh, okay. In my student life or in my own life, I usually got something about emotion control problem. So when you got this place, how can you control your emotion in a very stable situation or anything? You can recover from your very bad mind from a normal mind. Is my first question.
That's a very good question. So now he's talking about emotions. So we all get into negative emotions. So how do we get out of those negative emotions? Is that right? Okay. So what happens is, we tend to believe that those people that you like, even maybe myself, who might think, oh, you're always laughing, you're always happy. So for them, they think, I don't have my down moments. I do have those down moments as well. And it happens to everyone. So first thing to remember, it is part of life. Feeling unhappy, having negative emotions is part of life. That is what life is. Period. Second thing, yes, you're going to have those negative emotions. And how do you deal with those things? I am currently reading a book on depression, and so the question just comes at the right time. Those negative emotions, there could be two reasons. Well, there's just one main reason why they will be, when they come, they're going to stay. For some people, they stay for a long time. For other people, they just go away real quick. So the thing that makes it stay, it's your way of thinking. It's the meaning that you assign to things that happen to you. What's your name, sir?
English name
Yeah,
or Chinese?
English name real quick.
Don.
Don.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say for example Don,
Yeah.
is that right? D-O-N, right?
D-O-N, yeah.
Okay, Don. Let's say Don goes to his class and gets 0 for his calculus test. 0.
Too serious. Maybe 30.
Okay, let's say you get 25, 25.5, okay? 25.5 out of 100 actually, okay? Of course you're gonna feel down. But how do you see those 25? It's not the 25 itself that is a problem. It's what you think about what the 25.5 means to you. So if you tell yourself, oh my gosh, I get 25.5, I'm stupid, I'm never gonna be able to do this again. If I get 25.5 for calculus, I'm gonna get 25.5 for math, for English, for physics. If you think like that, if that's the kind of meaning that you give to it, you're gonna stay there for the whole year. But if you see the 25 and you say to yourself, okay, let me see, I get 25, that tells me something. It tells me I need to work harder. Maybe it tells me I need to spend less time with my girlfriend. Maybe it tells me it's time to break up with my girlfriend, actually. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, it tells me it's time to play less video game. If you give it that meaning, automatically there is hope. But if you see it as something that is always going to be there, if you see the 25 in your calculus as meaning who you are, then you are in trouble. And I'm sorry to say this, I have had the chance to talk with high school kids, university students. So just think for a second, why do people commit suicide? Why do students just go off a building and commit suicide? I have talked to a few of them. So why? They confuse behavior and who they are, and identity. So what you do, it's not who you are. Not because you get 25.5, yes, you failed. Yes, you have failed. That is a fact. But you are not a failure. Are you guys following?
Yes.
Is it too complicated? You are not a loser. Not because you lose mean you are a loser. This is why you can't urge 这个是一个分数哈，说好，我今天应该考得不好，没有关系，这个不代表我是一个很笨的人。我的结果不好 ，my results are not good, but that doesn't make me a failure. So when you think like that, so when you get this 25 and you tell yourself, yes, I have failed, it's true, you get 25. But that doesn't make me a failure. I can bounce back. So it's not what happens, it's the meaning you give to what happens. But this is very, very important. You guys are not even taking notes. And it's she's the only one taking notes. This is very important. I'm not kidding. It's not what happens. It's the meaning that you give to it that matters. It is not what happens.
So if I got a grade 25 or higher or lower, but actually the meaning to me is I work very hard to get a score. So I give this score meaningful. So I don't think it is a failure. What you mean is that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I understand.
So your life, it's not only about your score. And then this is something I would say, being here in Taiwan, even when I was growing up, so my parents, if I go home with something that is less than 90, they might say, what's wrong with you? You know? And then they were not so mean to me, but I've heard kids, high school kids, if they go home with something less than 95, they cannot show it to their parents. They go home with something less than 95 out of 100, they cannot show it to their parents. But really? So your life is all there is, just your grades, that's all you are? So that's what happens when you give that pressure to your kid. So when they keep having those 94, 90, when they get to 50, so their life has no other meaning. Because all they knew, all they had were the grades. So what do? They commit suicide, sadly. Because to them there is nothing. So this is something that we need to think about. So there is more to your life than the simple grades. Of course you have to have high grades to be in NCU. You guys are all smart to be here. Being here. But remember that your life, there is more to it than what you're getting in your grades. Again, ultimately, it's not what happens, but it's the meaning that you give to what happens that matters. Thank you for your question. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have got a cute gift for those who ask questions.
Oh,
Yeah, the sticky post.
that's interesting.
All right, and now I got a question.
Okay.
I believe that most of us have the potential, and we both have gifts for ourselves. And thing is like this: even though people have gifts, they can still choose to have a normal life. They can go to work on time, turn back home on time, and just as you said, relax at home, watch some TV series. It is kind of like so relaxing, and everyone like it. Yeah, so why do people need to find something else for them to do? I mean, why do they need to like set a big goal for themselves or have a big aspirations to do something big? Because doing these things means that they may feel disappointed, may feel tired when they face those obstacles. So why? So what? And I believe that there is the motivations and reasons that urges people to do something meaningful and big. So, Richard, what is the motivation that urges you to do the thing you're now doing?
There's two questions here, and in the first one, I'm going to answer that because I'm still thinking about this question. So why do people really have to have to do so many great things? Just like he said, we can just go home and then get a job, get married, get kids, and then just die. Who cares? So is that really all that life is about? I don't have a conclusive idea about this yet, but what I'm going to tell you is what I have right now. There's a story of a guy, his dad wanted to be an accountant. I think his dad has very great talent. And then his dad just decided, well, I'm not going to go about my talents. I'm just going to finish school and then be an accountant, just like he said, just live my life. Peaceful life, having kids, and then, raise my kids, and then just live life. And then until one day he lost his job. So what happens is he realizes that it's not about going after a big goal that you're going to fail. Even when you want to live in that relaxing life, you may still fail. So why not trying? Why not trying? Because true happiness, and I know the circle here, because what is true happiness? It's knowing that every single day you're waking up and you're doing something that has meaning to yourself and to society as a whole. So if every single day you wake up, you know exactly how your day is going to happen. Oh, there's not too much juice in life like that. You know exactly, I'm going to wake up at 7, I'm going to have breakfast, I'm going to go to work, I'm going to do this and that, and at 5, I'm going to go home, I'm going to be with the kids, and the cycle is going to continue over and over, like for 20, 30, 50 years, until there's nothing. But really, just like he said, I cannot ask someone to change, their thinking like that. But to me, this is really boring. If every single day, coming here, I had a bit of fear because I'm going to come to talk to people that I've never met before. I am doing something that I don't do every single day. So that's how I feel energized. If every single day I have to wake up and go to school, and after school, go home and sleep, to me, I'm just wasting my time on this earth. So again, so why do people really have to do that? Because I believe the purpose of life is to grow, is to challenge yourself. So that's what I believe so far. And I may change that belief as time goes by. But so far I believe that we are here to do something greater than what we can see. Okay? And then oftentimes it's not because we really want it, it's the comfort that He gives. That comfort of just doing nothing that attracts us that much. It's not really what we want, because it's not who we are. So ask yourself the question, so why do people pay so much money to watch that guy came, I forget the name, that band. My friends paid $5,000 to go watch his concert. So why do people spend so much time watching Stephen Curry playing basketball? Why? It's easier to watch them doing great things than for you to do it yourself. How much effort do you have to spend to know how to play basketball just like he does? Because he spends a lot of time practicing. No one cares about doing that. It's easier for you just to open you turn on your TV, and then just watch them play. So what they have in themselves, you have it too. But because you don't want to go through the obstacles that our friend mentioned earlier, I'm just going to go and watch them play. And I feel good, oh, they can play. Have I answered the question? Okay, so I think the second question, I'm sorry. You said, what urges me?
Yeah, what is your motivation?
So basically, my motto of life is to use my stories to empower people to reach their full potential. So in 2016, when I was in CU, that's where I met my first girlfriend, and then we stayed together for 4 years. And after 4 years, after my graduation, we broke up. And then in 2016, November 10, 10 p.m., that was really sad. And then, so when that happened, to me, nothing had meaning. I thought I was a loser. I thought, well, you give me money, you give me a good food. To me, nothing meant nothing. And I was trying to think, and I almost committed suicide myself. Okay? I almost committed suicide. And then after 18 days, from November 10th to November 28th, I told myself, so really? So just a single girlfriend was controlling my life like that? When she was there, I was happy. Now that she's gone and I'm that depressed. Really? Is that what my life is about? And I asked myself that question. And from November 28th up until now, I spend every single day trying to answer that question. And I've realized if that thing that happened again, the meaning that I gave to it is this. It happened because I came here to this planet to make sure that people can become their best selves. So that's where I get my motivation.
So now you have a new girlfriend. Your wife.
Oh my God! She's my sister, actually.
Oh, sister.
Yeah. So that's why. You're the only one who said that, I'm telling you.
Hi, Michelle. I have a question.
Hi,
That,
Jenny.
as you mentioned previously, that you say that your goal is be a motivating speaker. And while you're reaching your goal, what's the most impressive obstacle you have faced? And how did you overcome it and what did you learn from it? Thank you.
Because the obstacles that I face, they're everywhere. I mean, every single day, I'm telling you. But the biggest, I'm trying to think of a specific story of a biggest obstacle that I have faced. I think, well, I'm going to go a bit general here. I think the biggest problem is when people talk about motivation. So motivation basically is composed of three main components. It's intensity, it's direction, and it's consistency. Intensity, direction, and consistency. So intensity basically is when you want to do something for the first time. You feel happy about doing it. So that motivation at that time is so huge. You want to do it. Sometimes you want to do everything in one day, but as you can. So the intensity is there. So the second thing, of course, is direction. So you know we want to do something. So the major challenge is consistency. Many a days I wake up, I'm like, seriously? You want to be a motivational speaker? Really? Because I know what I have to do. I know how many things that I have to do. Because as I'm talking to you right now, I read articles and I keep submitting them to major magazines in the US and I'm getting rejected. You know, I get to apply to huge conferences and I am getting rejected sometimes. So when these things happen, I have to remind myself, do I really want to keep doing this? When I go to school, when I see my classmates, they all living a very stable life. They go to school, they do their tests, and then they have fun on weekends. But sometimes, it's Friday, it's Saturday, it's Sunday, it's Sundanje, it's quiet. I am at home reading. I am at home writing things. And I have to tell myself, how do I keep that level of consistency? This is the hardest part. How do you make sure for 2 years that you maintain that same level of motivation? You know, I decided to sleep for 5.5 hours from December 16 up until now. But sometimes I just don't want to wake up. 5.5 hours, you want to keep on sleeping. Because when I was your age, I used to sleep for 10 hours. I'll sleep, sleep, sleep. But when I decided to make the change, it was very hard. So I find that consistency, it's the hardest thing. It's when you start doing something, but how do you maintain that same amount of energy to keep going? So I think that's the biggest obstacles that I face. It's not one day, it's every single day. Even for that speech, what am I going to talk about? How am I going to write that speech? Am I really going to come here? You have all of these talks in your mind, so you have to make sure you maintain your level of integrity, your level of trust and self-commitment to what you say you will do. So that's the hardest part for me and to most of us when we want to do something of great value. You're welcome. Okay.
I want to ask you if you are a great person since your childhood.
Brave?
Great.
Uh-huh. Okay.
And how do you conquer the nervousness?
What nervousness? Speak in public? Yeah? Oh. Do I conquer the nervousness of speaking? I'm still nervous right now. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so what happens is, so there's one thing for you to know. So the first thing is, have you ever felt really angry at something, or really enthusiastic, or really, really happy? When you were so happy or so angry, you didn't care about anyone? So when I come here and speak about something that makes me feel really happy, I don't give a damn about anyone. So first thing that can help me with my nervousness is because I know I'm going to speak about something that I love. I'm going to talk about something that I sleep. Those topics that I'm talking about, I sleep them, I wake up with them, I breathe them, I'm eating, they're with me, I'm speaking, they're with me. So whatever I'm doing, they're still there. So those are stuff that I love. So when you're doing something, so if you get on stage and you see you feeling shaky, go ask yourself, do I really believe in what I'm talking about? So if you really love it, you will feel less nervous. So it all goes down to this. There are other rules that can help you, do deep breathing. Of course, you do preparation. But really, if you're talking about something, if I ask you, if I say something, maybe you have something that if I say to this can make you really angry, and if I say that thing to you right now, you'll get on that stage, you will call TVBS, Bingo Rebound, you'll call CNN, you wouldn't care about anyone, because you're talking about something that you really love, something that you're passionate about. Okay? So once you find that thing, nervousness has no choice but to say, oh my gosh, I cannot be here, and then say bye-bye to you. Gender. Yeah. Have I answered your question? Go ahead.
When did you set your goal?
People? Okay. I think I have been doing this since I was in Qingdai. The schools usually invite me to speak. And then, but it was not until after my breakup that I decided this is something that I should be doing more often. And for some reason, I don't even know why. Maybe I look like someone who knows these things. Sometimes parents will come up to me, like friends of mine who works at school. They'll come up and say, my kids is doing this and that. Can you help them? Like, how do you know I can help? Just intuition, just juju. I don't know. And sometimes students, because I teach English to kids. I teach English to from 9 to 18. Sometimes they have troubles. Stuff that I'm talking about with their parents, with their other teachers, but they will come up to me and say those things to me. Okay? So I've decided, well, why not give it a try? And if I have been through those bad moments myself, because I have been through them, so I know them. So most of what you will be saying here, the lack of motivation, nervousness, fear, I have been through them, and I'm still going through them right now. Okay, so why not just use, again, that's why I talked about meaning. So why not just use those bad moments in my life, turn them around, and empower people. I'm like, sounds cool. I'm gonna do that. And that's what I'm doing now. You're welcome. Any other question? Those are good questions, actually. Any other? Okay.
If I ask another question, is this question follow all of the process? I mean the speech.
Of course not.
Please. I just wonder about what Mr. Okay. Okay. That you mean consistency is the most difficult thing when you about being a motivation speaker or anything in your life. So can you speak a more detailed description about the consistency to all of us in this class? I don't hear any concrete recommendation or sorry, it's,
okay.
It's my fault.
No, it's not. It's not. Well, that's a good question. Please give a round of applause, please. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Well, that's a very good question. I have published an article on LinkedIn lately with 10,000 views, talking about that consistency thing. So why we have that much enthusiasm when we start something, and yet that enthusiasm just goes down? And how do we maintain that level of enthusiasm? So first thing is, be self-compassionate. Be self-compassionate. So what does that mean? You know that you are a human being, as I said earlier. You are going to have those ups and downs. Sometimes I wake up, I want to read, but my mind says no. You know what I do? I just go back and sleep. It's okay. I tell myself, well, maybe I don't want to read now. I'm going to be nice to myself. You're going to be okay. I take a great nap, and after that, I feel so much better. So when I feel like that, I start to blame myself. I start to be nasty to myself. Come on, go and read. I don't think that would work that much. Just like if Tim is feeling down, and I'm going to talk to Tim, you know, you better talk to yourself positively. It's okay. So why can't I do that to myself? I do it to myself too. So how? And just get a good night's sleep. Number 1. Are you ready for number 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2 is a concept of, as I said earlier, self-commitment. If I say to you, meet me tomorrow, let's say at 7 p.m., here at, well, what to the food court? Nanjosa, for example. I used to live there, right? So, when you come? I said, meet me at 7 p.m. tomorrow night at Nanjosa, and I'll give you $1 million. Wouldn't you come? All right? You'll be there, like, since 7 p.m., you'll be sitting there waiting for me, right? 6:30, I said. So what happens is it's self-confident. So when you say you want to do something, just like you respect me, you know we have an appointment, maybe it's the money, maybe it's myself, I don't know. You know it would come. You have to do the same with yourself. So when you say you're going to do something, you just do it. Because if you do not respect yourself, I can't respect you. You commit yourself to your words. You say to yourself, I said that I was going to do this thing, and I'm going to do it. Come hell or high water. And you do it. And the third thing, of course, you cannot do everything in one day. You cannot do everything in one day.
You mean I'm 80 years old, or I can't move at all?
No. What I mean is you cannot do everything in just one single day.
Oh, okay.
So you may have a very big goal, because if you look at that very big goal and want to finish it in one day, there is no motivation. The consistency level is very down. But when you take it, you break it down day by day into something that is more realistic, then that way you're gonna feel better with yourself. Because as humans, we feel that sense of achievement, that sense of pride when you get something done. If every single day you're working towards your dream and you can never get not even a small thing done, then you're not likely to keep going. I feel good about myself when in 3 days I can finish an article. I feel good about myself in 3 days I can write a speech, right? But if I have much bigger things to finish, but I know it's that process every single day that's going to tell me exactly how prepared I am to finish that much bigger task. So, be self-compassionate, commitment, and then break down your goals into more specific and more manageable pieces and make sure you finish them every single day. That's a very good question. Very good question.
Okay, my turn.
Okay.
Yeah, Victor, you have been invited to many schools and many occasions to deliver a speech. So during the time you prepare a speech, or during the time you're on stage, and even the time you interact with audiences, what is the most impressive thing you have learned through these speech experiences?
When I was speaking in NTHU, so the first time I spoke in NTHU, well not the first time, but the first time they organized the speech and they invited me, and there was a girl, she was always there. Whether the crowd was 10, 20, 2 or 3, she was always one of the audience member, and I never knew who she was until my third speech, and she was still there. I'm like, and I went to her and I spoke to her, and then we started to talk, and we added Facebook, and it was until a few days later that she was telling me how much impact that I have made on her. I have those screenshots on my computer, so the stuff that she learned. So now she's in the Toastmasters, and she came from someone who was who lacked self-confidence. It's a very confident girl. She can come up on that stage and speak English to you guys for like an hour. Less than a year ago, she would not have had the courage to do that. Of course, it's not me. This is something that she had. So all I needed to do was just a little push to see her do that. And I have many other examples. So those are the great things that happen. So when someone calls me and says, oh my gosh, I feel much better. Now I think I'm going to start to think about my life in a more structured way. I'm going to talk to myself more positively. So when those things happen, that's when I really feel, oh, I need to keep doing this. Yeah, you're welcome. You?
Yeah, last year.
What up?
It's like every time listening to you, every time read your article and everything, I
Thank
feel
you.
motivated. I feel like it's something I'm part of. So that makes me feel I'm not a loser. But my question is a little bit personal. I'm gonna ask you about it. Don't you think you can help our country a little bit? Just don't focus on this country that is not ours. You can spend a little bit more time on helping people in our country. I think people in our country need you as well. Don't you think that?
Okay, thank you so much. So he's a countryman actually. Thank you so much. So when I talk to people, so basically, so what I'm doing, it's not about, there is no bias in what I'm doing. So there is also one principle that says, start where you are with what you have. So most people are going to come to you and says, I want to be a motivational speaker, but I want to wait until I go back home to start doing motivational speaking because that's where I feel at home. But I have decided, nah, that's where I am right now. I am in Taiwan. That's where I can make an impact. And until the time comes for me to go back home, I am going to make that impact right here, right now. I'm not going to wait. If I get sent to Syria, if I get sent to Iraq, I'm going to go, but when the time comes, I'm not just going to go sit back and say, yes, I'm going to help my country. Yeah, Monday, I'm going to help my country. Tuesday, yes, I'm going to help my country. Wednesday, and I'm doing nothing here. Nah. So that's where I am right now. I'm not going to fly home for like 34 hours. It's not feasible right now. But when the time comes, it's going to happen. And I know. And I think about this since day and night, day in and day out. I think about them. And I'm going to make it happen. That's okay. It's a great question. Yeah, but it's not about the country. It's not about the people. It's about where I am with what I have. I'm in Chinda. That's the kind of people that I get to interact with. I am not working, so I barely go to companies to talk. I spend most of my time with students. I know students' needs. I know what kind of problems they face. I have been a student my whole life. I'm not going to spend my whole time speaking to students. Someday down the line, I'm going to have to speak to executives, but that's not where I am right now. Start with where you are, with what you have. Thank you for the question. How are you doing?
Thank you. Thanks for your speech. I want to ask a question about you have emphasized the everyday effort for our goal. But there is one situation like I take my friends for example. Maybe he wants to be a singer, but he cannot even sing do re mi. Yeah. So I think effort is like the vector. The magnitude and the direction is also important. So there's one situation is that maybe my friend have a physical limit of his goal. How can I balance to inspire him, but without let him waste his time on the maybe wrong direction?
It's a very great question. And I'm trying to see how do I answer that question because I have some because you guys have asked some questions related to this one. And I think I'm going to use my PowerPoint a little later to show you something real quick. You said he has physical limits.
Yeah.
He cannot even sing do re mi fa sol la si do, but you want to be a singer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If I could speak here, if you guys give me if you guys give me 30 seconds to make a speech, I would say 3 words. Outcome, sensory acuity, and flexibility. Outcome, know what you want. Sensory acuity, know what kind of result that you're getting. And flexibility, know when to change course. You know what you want. You know the result that you're getting. And you're flexible. And then the concept of flexibility, I'm not going to talk about this because I don't think it's a problem that you guys have right now. You talked about physical limitation. So if you look at yourself, so what happens with most of us, we see ourselves from here up until here. There's physical limitation. We forget about this. There is no limitations here. 300 years now, we would have been sitting in this room, and I would have given a speech 300 years from today. I would have told you there would have been a day where you would have had a very big device flying into the air. You would have sent me to the hospital. 300 years ago, I would have told you I could have had a smart device in my pocket that can do all of this kind of stuff. You would tell me no. So how did these things come about? Is it people are becoming stronger physically? I don't think so. These things come right here. So your brain, so basically our brain. So you have the left side and you have the right side. So now you're thinking with your left side, the rational part, the one that tells you, don't punch me, the one that tells you, don't take off your shirt in public. You're thinking about that one. But the right side of your brain, the one that is creative, the one that's going to help you do the stuff that the left side cannot see, you don't use it that much. So we have the right part of the brain, which is the imaginative brain, the one that's going to take you further than your own limitation, those ones that you call physical limitations. And I think I have a slide, if you'd like to go. I think it's the first one. Hey, can you go? No, not this one, not this one, not this one. I didn't want to go through that picture quite yet. Okay, let me go. Okay, let me talk about this real quick, right? Okay, so this is how I came from in 2011 to 2012 and then to 2017. So I went to 55 to 67 kilograms. So when I came here, I lost weight even further because I couldn't eat. So I took my physical limitations, basically, and I turned it into this one. Isn't that great? I mean, you guys are even giving a round of applause. Really? Okay, alright. Okay, so that's what happens. Okay, so I wasn't going to show that picture yet, but it's fine. Okay, so if you'd like to go to the next slide, please. Okay, so this is something else. So when I spoke for the first time in Qingda, I had 12 attendees and I was one of them, so we had 11 people. So last year, in less than a year, I spoke with more than 60 people. So again, it's when you want to do something, of course it's not going to be okay at first. So if you just give up, then what happens? You get nothing. So keep going, okay? So if you'd like to go to the one slide that I want, I think it's the third one. Okay, I'm going to let you guys read that quote. You can learn that later. It's very philosophical. I couldn't find any Chinese translation. I'll talk about that a bit later. So can you go to the next slide real quick? Okay. So do you guys know this? Can someone explain that to me? Even if it's in Chinese, please. This is very important to answer the question about those limitations that you just mentioned earlier. Anyone who said yeah? Can you guys give me some explanations real quick?
It means if you tie the elephant and it will just eat the grape around around the circle. And but it forgets its power can just break the rope.
Please give him a round of applause. I don't have to say anything. Pure and simple. So when the elephant, that's a circus elephant. So when the elephant was growing up, they tied him to that rope. As the elephant was very small, it was not able to get away, to free himself. He tried many times, but nothing. So as the elephant is growing up, at some point in time, he believed that, well, since I've been trying for that many times and I've never succeeded, so why try again? And as time passes, it grows, it becomes bigger, but the belief that he can never free himself still remains. The elephant believes he cannot get away, he cannot free himself. So most of us, we live with those limited beliefs, with those limitations in our own belief. We believe, well, if I was not able to do this yesterday, I am never going to be able to do it tomorrow. Who said that? If I spoke to 12 people in May 2016, doesn't mean I'm going to speak to 12 people. I'm going to spend my whole life speaking to 12 people. If my girlfriend broke up with me, that doesn't mean every girl in the world are going to break up with me. So you have to go beyond those limiting beliefs that you have. So not because he cannot sing Do-Re-Mi, that means he's never going to be a great singer. So have you ever gone online and tried to understand what those great singers that we have? We have Lady Gaga. He has a very, very, very strong story, a very inspiring story. So just go and type Lady Gaga. I forget her real name. She has a very long name. So just go and read about Lady Gaga, how she went from where she was to where she is right now. So look around you. Look around that place. Just take for a second. Look around you. Ask for a second. If I turn off all these lights here, you're going to say, oh, that guy is crazy. So we have lights. So do you know how these lights came about? The light bulbs that you have here, how did they come about? How many times did Thomas Alva Edison try before he get this right? How many times? Over 10,000 times. Please give him a round of applause. Please give him a round. Thank you. 10,000 times. So if he had said, you know what, oh, 10,000 times, you know what, I cannot sing do re mi fa that do re mi, I cannot get, no, I'm never gonna stop. He would never do that. He would never have applied here today. I mean, if you take some time, so that's what I do. So I read, you can go get some biographies, you can read from Steve Jobs, you can read from Bill Gates, you can read from Gottheimer, I suppose, you can read from Dan Tomo. Try to see. So when you see those people, they're making a lot of money, they're doing a bunch of great things. So what you think is, oh my gosh, maybe since that guy was a baby boy, maybe we could do coding, maybe we could do bandouty. But no, it takes time. So when your belief is limiting, there is nothing we can do physically. When what you have is limited, physically, there is nothing we can do. So not because you cannot sing do re mi today, that means 5 years from now, you're not going to be a great singer. Nah. So believe in yourself. Try. So know the result that you get. It's sensory acuity. What kind of results are you getting? I'm never going to say I want to be a singer because I think that would be a waste of time. I believe I can be a great singer actually. But that will take me 20 years. And I think I can be a great speaker in 5 years. So it's not really smart to be a singer right now because if I sing right now, you guys are going to run away, okay? You guys are going to run away, okay? And there's a song, I'd like to sing that song real quick. It says, where there is desire, there is gonna be a flame. Where there is a flame, someone's bound to get burned. But just because you burn doesn't mean you're gonna die. Where there is desire, there's gonna be a flame. And where there is flame, you are bound to get burned. So when you wanna do something great, you're going to fall. You're going to fail. But not because you fail means you're never gonna bounce back. You get that? So just, if you think about your physical limitations, think about what's in your mind. So what kind of beliefs that you have about yourself that is disempowering? What kind of belief that you have that is stopping you from doing what you want to do? Just think about these things, guys. My English is poor. Yes, your English is poor today. But that doesn't mean next week your English is going to be as poor as it is today. No. But if you believe that your English is poor, I'm sorry, you're going to be just like that elephant. As big as it is, you're going to be like this tied to that small rope, that small limiting belief. If there's one thing you can get from what I'm saying today, it's this. Free yourself. Free your mind. Very good question. If you guys would like to give him a round of applause. Thank you. Okay.
From your speech, you said that parents giving a gift or children when they achieve a certain score from their subjects is not a good way.
Sorry.
From your speech, you said that if parents give gift to their children,
Gift?
to children, to motivate them to get a higher score, this is not a good way, right?
No, I never said that. I said I had knew that student, when she get less than 95, her parents will scold her to death. Of course you need to give that person a gift. Of course we need that. Yeah, we need to give them a gift and get them. Of course, I mean, if you can get 100, why not getting 100? it's a great thing. I mean, of course, you have to encourage them. You have to make them feel okay. As humans, we want to feel loved. We want to feel empowered. We want to feel proud, right? We need that.
Do you think if it's just a way to motivate people to achieve their goals or their targets based on they can?
Okay, so basically, so in management, and I can also apply that to life. So there's what we call intrinsic motivators, and then we have hygiene factors. So hygiene factors is what you see here. That room is beautiful. It's well, there's AC. So imagine you were sitting in a room which was hot, no AC. Would you be motivated to be here? So what happens is most of us, we think about those outside motivators. Money, a beautiful place, a beautiful car. But it cannot get you very far. So what if those outside motivators are not here anymore? What happens? I spent 4 years being motivated because my girlfriend was very beautiful. You know, people will say, oh, your girlfriend is beautiful. And I feel, whoa, oh, God, you're only high. So when she left, so that was the only outside motivator that I had. So when she left with everything that I had. I went to bar, I went to smoke, I was drinking, I was doing a bunch of weird things. The more I was doing these things, which was stuff from the outside, the emptier I felt. But sometimes you need to go inside. So that is what we call meaning. So when you know you're doing something which is greater than yourself, the gift is here, you're happy. I come here today, you guys like my speech, I am very happy. And I go home, you guys say my speech was crap, that's also fine. Okay? So we need those things, but more importantly, you need to have those factors from inside of you. Alright? Thank you. I'm good.
I have one question.
Go ahead.
And yeah, we know we are young students and we have a lot of time to change ourselves. But however, one day we become older and maybe if we want to change the job or we want to change something, but we don't have the time to change. So if you have this question, how do you deal with this?
Now you have enough time to change.
Yeah.
So what happens? That's a very good question. I suppose now you know that question, so you're not gonna wait until you get 80 and then want to change, right? Please don't do that. Okay. So let's say you've never met me, I've never given a speech, and then this happens. And of course, you may never change, and then live in regret, because this is one thing. I think I forget the name of that book. And that was a nurse. She was saying that the biggest regrets that people have on their deathbed, it's the regret of not trying to do something that they wanted to do. Okay? And of course, you don't want to live, if you know it right now, you don't want to go through life and say, oh, I'm going to wait, right? So this is a regret that you don't want to have. You don't want to have that kind of regret, right? But it is said that it's never too late to do the right thing. So I believe even if you're 50, you're 60, you can still start something, you can do something, you can still change your life. And I think we have many instances. I mean, I met a guy from Taiwan. I think his company is like Ma Shuo Yan Xuan. You guys know Ma Shuo Yan Xuan. Matthew's Choice. I think he has it's a yogurt. I went to interview him. I think he started that company at 46. So he was working and then he just decided that that's not what I want. Okay, and then he went to start his own, yogurt shop, and he went to visit these places in Thailand. Okay, and then we have what? Morgan Freeman, we have J.K. Rowling, we have a bunch of, extraordinary people that they've started late. So, you don't want to start late if you know something, or if you know something right now, but it's never really too late to start something great. And if it's too late, well, I'm sorry. But I don't know what is too late and what is not too late. So it depends on you, on that person.
But I think when you are 30 years old or 40 years old and you have a family, and maybe if you want to change something and your behavior will hurt your family, like you will lose your job or something.
Okay, so you see, again, that's what I'm talking about. So, if you think about the way you're talking, you can see, okay, you can see the way you see things. Of course, you're gonna hurt people, but sometimes it's the only thing you have to do, because it's not gonna please everybody. Of course, you have to think about these things. Again, when you're working towards your goal, there's what we call ecology check. So you have to know that stuff that I'm doing right now, how is it going to impact people around me? You try to minimize those impacts. Okay, but don't come to me and say to me that, well, I want to do this thing, but I'm not doing this because of this and that. Those are excuses, those are alibis, those are check-up. Pure and simple. Yeah, because I have 3 kids, I have 10,000 kids. You know what? The bigger the challenges that you have to face, the bigger when you get on top, the better you feel. You know, you have 10 kids, that gives you a reason why to keep going, because this is getting even harder. Because we expect things to be easy for us to do something great. It's not going to be easy. Your wife is going to give you trouble, your parents, friends, family, yourself. But all these things are problems for you to solve. Find a way to solve them. Don't come and tell me I have kids, I have stuff. No. Yes, I cannot go to the gym because of my girlfriend. Those are check-up. And you can see those people, they will never build muscle. I'm sorry to say that, but really. Oh, they're going to say, you look so strong, I want to be like you. And they're going to take pills, but they're not going to put in the hard work. Okay? So you will always find a way. I mean, if you really want to do something, if you really want to do it. Again, that's one thing also. Because if you really want to do something, you will do it. If you really want to do something, you'll find a way. Where there is a will, there is a way. Where there is a will, there is a way. Alright. Thank you.
So here is our last question.
Okay.
I will ask the last question.
Okay.
Yeah, for most of the audiences here are university students. I think so. So what is 3 of the most important abilities or qualities that you think a university student should be acquired?
Resilience. Resilience, R-E-S-I-E-N-C-E. Oh my gosh. So resilience. I believe we should have a course for that illustration called Failure 101. Failure. Shibai Ilingi. A class where you can go and fail all you want. A class where you can go fail, and build resilience. Because what happens is, when everything is always going right for you, you miss something. So when every single day you have your parents, you have your mom, you have your dad, you have money, you eat well, you're in a good school, you're hungry, you can go to 7-Eleven. When things are always okay for you, there is a part of yourself that you're missing. So when failure, a small failure just shows up, so what happens is, you don't know how to handle that. Okay, and that's one thing that we get from our country, from Haiti. I mean, you guys live in a country which is very convenient. You guys can just get a scooter, you can get a U-Bike, you can take a bus. But sometimes people from my country would have to go to school, work for like 30 minutes to go to school. Sometimes you have to go to school, there is no electricity, there is not this, there is not that. But that tells you, if you really want to do something, you will find a way. So I think there should be that Failure 101 thing to just show you the value of resilience. Because in life, it's not just skills. You may be very good at math, physics, computer science, but when you fail, where do you get the courage to keep going? This is very, very important. Okay? So resilience is one skill. What is what I think? So I mean, Failure 101, I think they should have in school. And then, there's so many things. I forgot the third one. I had something else in my mind. Okay, I'm gonna think about it and I'm gonna give you guys the answer after that. But before, because you said that was the last question, because one of the questions was really interesting. Let me go to that question real quick. Because so we talked about reality. You talked about like if you're gonna do something and in reality you cannot do it. So what is reality? So I came up with that. I think I have some. Can you go to the next slide, please? So you guys take a look at this real quick and tell me what you see. Okay. Let's take a look. Take a look and then tell me what you see. She sees a young lady, very good. What else? An old woman, who said that? Very good. A male. Okay. Any other answer? Of furry clothes. That's 4 different answers. Let's keep adding. Well, now we have 4 different answers. Who is right and who is wrong? Nobody is wrong. What do you study? Do you do philosophy, by the way? What's your major? That guy, those are good answers. No one is wrong. Now, what is reality? So when she says a young lady, when you say an old woman, so think about it. Why do people fight? You're wrong. No, I said old lady. We're going to fight with her. Because you believe that there's a reality out there that everyone should see things the way you see it. It's not supposed to be like that. So what is reality? So basically reality is right here. And I think I have different pictures. So reality, it's not really what's out there. So reality, so in neuroscience, there's something we call internal model. So internal model, it's the model that you make of the world outside of yourself. It's how you see the world. That's what reality is. So if we have, 20 people in this classroom, we have 20 different realities. So looking at myself, or maybe you might say, some of you may look at me and say, yes, that guy is white. You never know. So maybe in your eyes you see white, but if you tell me I'm white, I'm not going to argue with you. That's a reality. Maybe some of you look at me and say, that guy is very tall. Well, I'm like, sheshe. Maybe you see, yeah, you might say, so we have those different realities. Okay? So reality, so you say, I don't know what that is. You know? So, again, reality is what you see, it's not what is out there. Okay? To get back to the next skill thing, curiosity, okay? Curiosity is something that I think students should have, and that goes back to this. So when we see something, if we approach everything with a sense of curiosity, and you say, I want to know more about this thing. Because when you want to start something, you have your own way of seeing things. And then if you go by and say, oh, Jenny is very stupid, there's no young lady here. But if you start differently, with a different mindset and say, yeah, she says young lady, so why did she say that? That's curiosity. So with that curiosity, you're going to learn to know more about her. You're going to learn to, why did she say that? So really, there is an old young lady here. So we need to have that sense of curiosity, not to make assumptions before. I mean, I used to make assumptions. Like, to me, the way I see the world was the way everyone was supposed to see the world. So that's why when you ask a question about, does everybody really have to do something great? So again, this is something that I'm really thinking about day and night, seriously. Okay? Because everyone has their different reality. Okay, but I still believe that, you guys can do much, much greater things than you're doing right now. Okay? You've not done your best thing yet. You've not, visited the most beautiful places yet. You've not met the nicest person yet. You can still do these things. You have a hope. There's a better future for you. So I believe that. So you have to take that. So just believe in that. And you can get there. Oh,
okay. And I think it's all about the speech and the interview today. Let's give Bashir a round of applause. Speech is very inspiring, and I'm sure that we not only learned a lot from the speech, and we also got motivated. And thank you.
Well, thank you guys, thank you guys so much. I mean, you guys are amazing. Thank you for organizing this thing. And these people, like, I think you should give them a round of applause for organizing this. I mean, they could have, organized a baseball game right now, or maybe, law or some more zita kind of stuff, just so you guys have fun. But they wanted you guys to learn something that's going to be helpful for your future. Well, that's a great thing, guys.
I want to say something.
Go ahead.
The reason why we decided to invite Petra this time is that Petra delivered us a speech last year when there still happens youth Toastmaster. And although we just talked a little bit, chat a little bit, and I was impressed by Petra's experiences and he's so appreciative. He's so optimistic. I was impressed by him, so I decided to come here and deliver a speech to us now. And this speech was scheduled at winter vacation. Yeah, so we are very thankful and very appreciative that Petra can accept our invitation. So to show our appreciation, we make a certificate of appreciation, and we would like to give it to Petra.
Oh boy, that's cool. See, you get certificate of appreciation. That's what I'm saying.
And
Do we have a hat too?
Yeah, and also a hat from SU.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's good on you.
Really? No, not like that. I can put it right there, it's fine, let's go.
Yeah, so,
Thank you.
Yeah, could you guys just come out of the front of the and the fire? 1, 2, 3. Okay.
We're gonna do this hat.
Okay, I'll give it a hot shot. Maybe. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, are you done? Yes. Okay. Thank you guys so much.
thank you very much.
Yeah, 谢谢你们. Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, so I believe that you guys have a really great time today and also have more thoughts about our lives and our future. And I'm also very thankful for you guys that you guys choose to come here and listen to Petra's speech, because everyone knows that there is a performance by Piano Club upstage, right? Yeah, and so they still have time. So later you guys can choose to go on stage. Okay, so yeah, so it's about time for us to say bye.
Do you take a good picture? We have to take a good
Yeah, of
picture.
course. We need to take a picture.
With everybody, if you would like to come to the center stage, to the middle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Let's take a picture. Yes. Come on stage. Stop. Sit down your seat, and we will take the picture additionally. Sorry.
What are you doing? Jason? You eat too much, bro. Ladies first, actually. You go. Sit next to me. I get the privilege to sit next to the most beautiful girl in the whole world.
How much your
My excited one.
One, two, three. Okay. Could you just move to the center?
Usually people say, pass it 10 to 10.
One, two, three. Show your pose, please.
Because we have like number 1.
Yeah. One, two, three. 波斯田。
天天天，哦yeah.
Okay, thanks you guys very much. And if you guys still have questions, I think the jar is ready to answer.
You guys can email me if you can get my email. Just get my email or my contact information. Alright. So thank you guys all for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.